welcome back to another video. I'm Football from Game here, and today I'm playing some more Bloons Adventure Time Tower Defense. So today we are doing the ultimate money making guide. So basically, I'm going to go over every single form of money making, which is like additional income in this game. Talking about which ones are better / best in my opinion and from experience. And then I'm probably going to do a little bit of testing with them in game, just to quickly show you that yeah, they do make you money and they make you a lot of money. So first things first, I feel like the best way to go about this is to start in the collection. So I'm going to start going through weapons, then allies, then trinkets, all forms of money making. At least the ones that I know of, which basically means if I don't know of it, chances are it's very, very insignificant or pretty useless, like a random uncommon weapon that's like, hey, you make 5% more money with this sword. I don't think that exists. I'm pretty sure I'm going to mention them all, but if I do forget something, let me know, but it's probably not that important since most of the bigger ones I'm well aware of. But yeah, so we're going to go through all these, then we'll go through the characters, then I'm going to actually talk about builds and maximizing your income. But first off, the weapons. So, as I'm saying, I'm not quite sure, I could be missing something, but I'm pretty sure none of the uncommons do anything for that. As for the rares, there is the Thief's Katana, which gives plus $1 in-game cash per 10 pops. I mean, it's not horrible. It makes some extra money. It's a sword type, which means it can be used with Finn, Dungeon Finn, and Warrior PB. But it's based on pops, so it's based on damage overall. So it definitely can be helpful if you're equipping this to Finn or Dungeon Finn. Not a bad option, but also not the best option. So that is something I'll keep in mind, but it's not necessarily the most useful thing in the world, since more often than not there is something, well, there's just a better alternative. Looking at the super rare weapons, we then move on to the jeweled cabasas. I probably said that horribly wrong. I always called them just like, I don't know. I probably mispronounced that. I'm sorry. But basically, as you can see by the description, drops a jewel once per round that can be collected for $50. When it says once per round, it basically means when the round starts, drops $50. Which is $50 a round. It's not bad. It's a good weapon. It's a musical instrument. It can easily be equipped to Jake, Marcelin, Jake, Marcelin, or Tuxedo Jake. All good options, depending on which money-making characters you're necessarily using, or if you're using one for a specific strategy / damage. So, pretty decent, nothing that particularly special, but not bad. And that's it for the super rares. Yep, that's right, we have one rare, one super rare. And in the epics, it's not that much better, because we have one epic. That's right, there's not that many money-making in terms of weapons. So the weapon option that we have is the Golden Viola. So this character's range, attack 10% faster, blah blah blah. But the only important part about the Golden Viola is that every 5th balloon pop gives plus $1. So you know how I told you, hey, Thief's Katana, 10 pops, $1? Not that great? Yeah, it's because the Golden Viola gives you twice as much money. So yeah, that's pretty useful. It is based on Bloons pops. I'm not sure if that is necessarily the same as pops. I believe it's actually based when a balloon is literally like fully pops rather than straight up pops, but regardless, it's not that big of a deal. It's a lot of money regardless, and it's a really good option. But there are definitely better ones we will look at. On to allies. So allies, once again, uncommon, common, there isn't anything. Once we get to rare, we get to the basic of basics. The BMO generates extra cash. The description even tells you. So BMO at base, with no upgrades, it costs $700. Not that expensive. And BMO will generate $2 per second with a maximum of $500. If you buy the first upgrade, B More, she will then produce up $3 per second to a maximum of $750. And the 4th upgrade for $500, $4 per second for a maximum of $1,000. So every 250 seconds or just over 4 minutes, you collect your BMO, you get $1,000. It's a pretty good deal. In total, costs $1,500 exactly, which is quite a bit. So it is just over double the base cost. It's expensive, but it's not that expensive. For $1,000 every 4 minutes, it'll take 6 minutes of in-game time to make BMO worth it. That is an interesting thing about the money-making allies in particular. They're all based around time, which is very significantly different from some money-making options that we'll get into later with the characters, and also money-making options from other BTD games like BD6 and stuff like that. On to the next ally. I don't believe there are any other rares. That's not true. I almost missed someone. there actually is a super rare. We have Dr. Monkey. Actually, there's another one. I almost missed him too, but we're going to try about Dr. Monkey first. So, base tower doesn't do anything. He removes camo and regions. Then he slows Bloons. Then he damages Bloons. But finally, if he gets his third upgrade, he turns Bloons to gold. So that's pretty cool. He discovered the secret formula to turn rubber to gold. He is the rubber to gold alchemist. It does, I believe, give plus $1 per pops, which can be really good. It can technically double income. But at the same time, it's okay. So yeah, it doubles income, which can be very good. Or, in general, it can be fairly mediocre, because more often than not, he doesn't throw that many potions, so he's not going to turn every balloon to gold, and then some balloons will get popped before they turn to gold, or they're in Moab, so the Moab will just go right over the golden pools, nothing will happen, it'll pop, and turn into regular balloons. He's pretty good, Dr. Monkey. He's a good tower in general, so he's definitely a good option to have. He's just another ally. It is pretty expensive to get alchemy. That's one of the things I will say. He's one of the more expensive towers. He pays off less earlier on in the game and is more valuable in very specific rounds. For example, round 74, he makes a lot of extra money, but around like 73, when it's entirely mode class balloons, he's not going to make you too much, especially since some of them are DTs, which will go completely over top of him. He's pretty good, but he's not that great, and he is pretty expensive. The other super rare ally I almost missed. Is it a super rare or is it a rare? See, now I'm confused. There is an ally here that I'm looking for. Oh, here he is. He is a super rare. That's what I thought. We have the King of Ooh. He basically does the same thing, but for cheaper. So he costs a lot less money, and he will turn balloons to gold. Woo! It's not every shot, unlike Dr. Monkey, so it's a chance. I believe it gets up to, I want to say it's like 75% chance at max upgrade, so more often than not, he will turn the balloons gold, but it's not guaranteed. Same deal, extra money. He's okay. He's a bit of a cheaper option, but in general, he's a worse alternative, because unlike with Dr. Monkey, where you throw the potion, and then as soon as the balloon runs over the potion, it turns to gold, King of Ooh actually has to hit the balloon, which means the balloon cannot die before he gets hit. And in general, King of Ooh, as you can see, medium attack speed as his cons. He just doesn't attack all that quickly, and in overall will miss most balloons. It's not 100% chance. He's not as good as, what's his face? He's not as nearly as good as Dr. Monkey. However, he's a bit cheaper, and he does damage, which actually Dr. Monkey does as well. Yeah, no, he's just a worse version of Dr. Monkey. He's okay. He's not a bad option. Feel free to add him on. He can make you a lot of extra money. Like, he can work really well. But in most cases, I find him not really that valuable, as he misses a lot and more often than not becomes, or basically ends up being pretty much useless. Then we move on to the final money-making tower. Technically, I'm going to talk about one other in a bit, if you can probably guess who. We move on to Cobra, who, straight up, is probably the best ally in this entire game. He is by far the best money-making tower, like most efficient tower in the entire game. So every, I want to say, like, 3 seconds on fast forward, which I guess is every, like, probably 10 seconds normally, he will drop a crate. It will either be a money crate or lives. The lives give plus 1 or 2 lives, which is nice. It's life regeneration. In most cases, not that useful since it doesn't go above max, but it's still there. It's not horrible. Then he also does some damage. He actually does 2 damage per shot, but he attacks incredibly slowly and only pierces 1 balloon. So it's okay, but you don't want to rely on Cobra much for damage. But when he does drop money crates, he drops anywhere between $50 and $150, which is a lot of money. He only costs $400 too, so he's really cheap. It's really easy to start the game with at least one of him, if not multiple, depending on what character you're using for defense, or if you're okay just tanking the lives. If you're playing on an easier difficulty that's not unpoppable, you might just be able to tank lives and regenerate some of them with the Cobras, and you'll be fine. So Cobra, really great tower, probably the best money-making tower, since it only takes a couple rounds to pay for himself back, and then he can just go straight into making you additional income. Plus, his money-making isn't dependent on balloons or anything like that, like it is with Dr. Monkey and King of Ooh, and he's just really efficient. The one issue is you actually have to you have to move your finger or mouse or whatever to collect the money crates, which moves on to the next tower, next ally I'm going to talk about, the final one, Monkey Farmer. He doesn't make any money on his own. He's a legendary ally, but if you have him, he'll pick up all your collectibles. It'll be pretty important for money making in a second. One thing I just realized is I actually missed a weapon. Silly me thinking, oh, there's only one epic weapon. It's because I didn't think about the Thought Cannon Wand. So Thought Cannon Wand Mobs hit by blue. If you hit a Moab with the character that it's equipped to, they will have a pretty likely chance to drop something when they're destroyed. And like 80% of the time, it's money. It's usually money and lives. I believe similar amounts to Cobra, but they happen way more frequently. If you pop a Zomg, Zeppelin of mass something, you know, the one with the giant skull on it that's green, that dude, it will drop into 4 mobs. It'll spawn 4 BFBs. Man, why am I messing up with him? 4 BFBs, which will turn into 4 mobs each, which is 16 mobs, plus the 4 BFBs, 20, plus the ZMG itself, 21. So 21 chances to get loot. Obviously, this Thought one will also give you wish orbs, and I believe it will also give you, I don't know if it gives gems. I'm not sure about gems, but it'll give you wish orbs, give you money, lives. It's really great. It makes a lot of money. But it's like a couple things we'll get to later on in the list. It's not really very efficient until you get to stronger balloons, but it is a nice bonus, and it's pretty good, and I'm pretty upset I forgot to mention it. I'm sure many of you have already left a comment, but you can delete your comment. I'm good. I didn't forget about it. Thought 1 makes a lot of money. Finally, on to trinkets. This is also going to take a while. Man, I'm still just going through the basic collection. I haven't even actually talked about strategies yet. Then we move on to, I'm not going to talk about, so here's something I have to point out. I'm not talking about discounts. Discounts are a whole other deal. There's something I guess I might mention briefly, but they're not that important. If you want me to go over discounts, I'm not going to be talking about those just for simplicity's sake, but those are something you can keep in mind, is that you can get discounts for towers, upgrades, all of that stuff. But the first trinket we have access to is, where is it actually? It's rare, I believe. We have, yes, the Thief's Dagger. So Thief King's Dagger. Melee attacks give an additional 2 cash per attack. See, this is an interesting one, because this is the first one that is not based on pops, but simply the sheer number of times you swing your sword. If you have someone like Finn or Dungeon Finn, unlike Warrior PB, they're attacking really quickly. And if they're going against something like a Moab and are doing 1 damage per hit, each swing is $2. If they're attacking 3 or 4 times a second, like Finn can get up to, you could be making $10, $12 per second. It's a lot of money. It may not sound too crazy, but it adds up really well. It's just a really good trinket. It works well with the Finn build, which I'm sure I'll be talking about later. But Thief's King's Dagger, great money-making option. It's just a great option overall. It works really well. Then we move on to some super rares. So first up, another one exclusive to Finn. We have the Holly Jolly Sweater. Generates $40 cash each round. It's pretty great. It's nothing all that incredible, but it's pretty nice. Then we have the far worse version, the Universal Coin. It can be equipped to any character, but gives half as much. I mean, it's not useless. It's an extra $20 around or extra $40 around, but overall, it's really insignificant. But I mean, it could be worse. I suppose it could always be worse. But yeah, so those are some money makings in the super rare section, I guess. I'm just double checking. Is there anything else here? I believe yes, there are. Why am I thinking, oh, there's probably nothing? Then we move on to treasure chest keys, kind of like Thought 1, same idea, except this time the mob has to be popped with a projectile from the character that this is equipped to. They will drop things. This one, it's much rarer, so you won't make much in-game money from this, especially since, unlike Thought 1, this actually can give you out-of-game currency, like the gold coins you'll see at the top here. But it can make you a little bit of extra money, but it's not that great of an option, but I figured I would point it out since I'm listing everything. Then we move on to the Mystery Cave Pick, adds +1 pierce, +1 cash per pop to all melee attacks. This one, similar to the Thief King's Dagger, except notice the difference. Pop, not per attack, per pop. There is a difference. It's this big difference. I mean, it's also half the money amount, so that's something as well. Normally, this might actually be better, because if your tower is doing 5 damage per attack, if it's popping multiple balloons with a single swing, then this will actually make a lot more money, but in certain situations, especially earlier on in the game, it's generally a worse option. Then we finally move on to epics. Why are you telling me this stuff is new? I've already had most of these things. Anyways, as for epics, there are only 2 options. There's at least 2. First thing I'm going to talk about is the magic coin purse. This is a little bit different. It makes you start with extra $300 when you start the game. It just has to be equipped to a character in your party. it's pretty good. It helps you afford extra money making, almost enough to buy you a Cobra straight away just with its extra currency. So pretty useful, pretty helpful, just a good option. You should have that trinket anyways, but figure I'll mention it. One thing I actually because I said I wasn't going to talk about discounts. I was going to go into the detail about Finn's baby blanket, but not going to talk about that because that's discounts, and I said I wasn't talking about those. Anyways, not looking at those, we then move on to the Banana Replicator. Balloons pop by equipped characters give double cash. Straight up, pretty good. It's the same idea, doubles cash from Balloons pops. It stacks a little bit with others, but not that great with other money-making methods. Does this one? No, this wasn't. Elder Plop Scepter, I always get confused if it covers them in gold or not. It doesn't. But for whatever reason, I'm always like, it's always in my back of my mind that, yeah, these turn things to gold. No, they don't. Anyways, we are finally on to actual characters. Man, that took a while. Already been like 15 minutes. But on to the first money-making option. We have good old basic Finn and Jake. Jake's important here too. We have Brofist, gives cash and lives at the end of each round. A lot of these things also give cash, or also give lives rather. It's not that helpful, but I mean, again, it's there. So Brofist, it gives an additional $100 income per round, which if you compare it to like Universal Coin and stuff, it's a fairly big difference. The upgrade costs $1,400, then $450 for the previous upgrade right in Blubs, then Finn's base price of $300, so in total, you are paying $2,150 for the upgrade, so it would take 22 rounds to pay itself off, plus you also have to buy Jake for $400, so it would actually take 26 rounds. On the 26th round, you will make $50, so yeah, not quite as money efficient as some of these towers like Cobra, who will pay you back in like a round, but I mean, it's more money making, it's good money making. This is actually the only option out of everything I'm listing that you can get from the beginning of the game. No character level requirements, you don't even need to unlock a character since you start with Finn and Jake. So, I mean, this is your only money option when you just completely start the game over again. So, I mean, it can't be that OP, otherwise it would be really broken. But as you can see, as it says, locked by, bound by ward, don't buy this upgrade. If you wanted to attack faster, Brofist will not work, which, based on some trinket options, can actually be better. But I'm going to talk about that later. Flame Princess, and no money making. Jake, like I said, has part of Finn's Brofist, which is important. Sai, no money making. Ice, no money making. Princess Bubblegum has money making. So this one requires level 5. Royal Decree ability, once per round money, blah, blah, blah. I believe it makes you $350. I think it's $350. It's not that much money. It's an expensive ability. It's only by, it's once per round, like Finn's. They're okay. They're nothing particular. I believe it's a little bit better than Brofist overall, but it's not that much better, and it's still not that great of one. Plus, unlike Brofist, which is automatic, this one, you gotta press an ability, which means you might miss it. Okay, I believe that is all the characters, correct? I'm not missing anyone. Well, of course I'm missing someone. We got Captain Cassie, Bloon Pillage, Balloons pop by Cassie and crew, give more cash. Man, I'm starting to lose my voice. This has been a while. Also, if you have this upgrade and near you is a Super Monkey with Sun Avatar, you can also get a Treasure Hunter upgrade, which will create idols on the track that I think are worth, see if my memory works. I think it's $300 each. I think she makes $1,500 around, but I'm not positive. You can double check my video on that. I'll probably link it in the description if you want to see it for yourself. I'm not going to test this one out because that one will be it's very specific. But on to the next option, we have, that's everyone, isn't it? I'm saying next option. I'm pretty sure that's everyone. Warrior PB, no. What am I thinking? I almost forgot. See, I'm saying, oh, we're done. Nope, we're not done. Oh, we're done. Nope, we're not done. Max, who, at first, I thought this was a really bad upgrade, but recently I've learned actually can make a lot of money. We have Big Balloon Bounty. Get a cash bonus if Max gets the last hit on a Moab. Kind of like treasure chest keys. So, it's only $100, which isn't that drastic, but once again, it's the same math as I mentioned with the ZMG earlier, 21. So, you could make $2,100 from a single ZMG with just Max. It's a fair bit of money, and since some rounds they end up with a lot of mobs, lots of BFBs, he actually makes a lot of money. Recently, I used him, and I think he was the majority moneymaker, and I was making like $8,000 a round in the end game. So last 5-10 rounds, he makes a lot of money with that upgrade. Do not underestimate it. Then we have Tuxedo Jake. Obviously, he has He has lots of cross paths, including his level 7 ability, which I still don't have, but makes it so each attack drops $250. So, yeah, as you can see, Tuxedo Jake, if you have him level 7, he basically makes you infinite money, in which case you don't need this guide, but there's always someone like that, like Super Monkey level 7 for all my other guides. So basically, if you have Tuxedo Jake level 7 and Super Monkey level 7, you beat the game already. Stop watching guides unless you find it fun. But there we go. After a lot of talking on my part, that is every single form of money making in this entire game. But as I said, as you can see from the title, I promised a guide. I didn't just promise me listing out and pointing out every last form of money making. So a guide I shall give you, talking about two things. First of all, there is the fin build. So obviously, you may have noticed lots of these things are melee focused, and yes, you would be right about that. And even more of them are fin focused. Fin, my friend. We have our good old friend, the money-making fin build, Money Fin. So, great option. I did a full video with my fin guide, has that. I will also link that in the description if I remember. If I don't remember, feel free to let me know. I'll probably add it. Is that all of the items we need? I'm going to take another look. I think that's all the trinkets. We will need to give lead popping power as well. So obviously, you probably won't have all of this. You might have some, or you'll have none, or you'll have like 2. Okay, I'm missing my lead popping power trinket. No, I'm not. It's an epic for this, isn't it? Where is it? I know it's here somewhere. There we go. Whirlpool handle. There we go. So this is the fin build. Makes lots of money per hit. Attacks pretty quickly. You can add in a Baker Shard or something. I'll probably do that now. Just a big attack speed boost. Makes him attack 50% faster. Makes it make roughly 50% more money. He's really cheap, $300. You place him, and then for the next 40 rounds, you get all of your other money-making options that I've listed out. It actually costs a lot of money to make the money. It's a little interesting, but yeah. So Finn's basically used for that. He makes you money, and he survives the first, 30-something rounds of the game on pretty much every map, unless he can't see where the balloons are coming from. Which does happen for some maps, but most maps he pretty much works. But yeah, so if you want to see more detailed or something, you can see my fin guide. I talk more about it. But that is definitely one of the best options if you're struggling with money. Make a fin money-making build. No matter how many of these trinkets you have, he's a good option. Or if you have none of these trinkets, Finn might just be able to be a good option. Just give him some damage and attack speed, preferably camera detection as well. And lead popping power. Basically, give him lead popping power, camera detection, damage, and attack speed, and let him solo the first couple rounds. Or if you don't have any of that, let him solo the first 20-something rounds, and then buy someone else for lead and camera detection. He's a good option. It works well regardless of what options or what trinkets you necessarily have. The more the better, obviously, but he's just a great tower for that. Plus, he works well with Jake. So that's definitely probably the best strategy to start off with. My recommendation after that is to go for Cobras. Cobras, as I mentioned, best money-making option in the game. Preferably you will have Cobra equipped to Commander Cassie, in which case, after you get however many Cobras you can start off with, and, maybe a Monkey Farmer if you don't want to tap them constantly, then you go for Scramble with Commander Cassie by math. Then you buy Scramble. If you don't have water on the map, you can use Later Unicorn if you have it, or you can not use this if you don't want to bother with it, but I figured I'll mention it. Then you get 2 extra Cobras, and then you buy the BMOs. Only after you have all of your Cobras is it worth it to go BMOs, because Cobras are the most efficient money-making by far. Once you have all of your BMOs, because they're probably the second best after Finn and all that, so your Finn, Cobra, BMOs, also Commander Cassie does some good damage, so it might be nice to have her as well. Then you can go for PB and Brofist, both of those. So PB's Royal Promise? No, not Royal Promise. That's the Finn upgrade. PB's Royal Decree. I said that before I looked at it because I remembered it after I saw the image. So PB's Royal Decree and Finn's Brofist. And, if you have Tuxedo Jake, you can use him. Then you place Max, preferably with treasure chest keys. Upgrade him, put him in the front. You have Flame Princess with Thought Cannon Wand. If you need some extra DPS, which you probably won't, you can drop Sam with Phoenix Wand if you need some cheap damage. Make sure someone around one of those characters has Magic Coin Purse, and make a stupid amount of money. Last time I tried to make the most money possible, I made $250,000. of money that was not in towers. I think after I sold it was like 330,000. So that's a lot of money. I made a lot of money, like between $250,000 and $300,000. It's a lot of money just from basically buy rare 75. If I redid it today, I could probably do way better. I probably will after I get Tuxedo Jake to level 7, because I've heard it, well, just in my mind, I know it makes stupid amounts of money. And yeah, that's basically my plan. If you have level 7 Tuxedo Jake to start off with, like I said, ignore all of this, because he makes more money than anything in the entire game and anything you can ever spend it on. If you have all these towers, I don't know, extra tower slots, throw in a super monkey, anything else that's expensive, 5 tech towers, and just buy everything you can. And after you're done with all that, give the video a like, because it helped me out so much. But yeah, I talked for a lot then. A lot. If you want to see a test of me using some of these tips, I will also link the money making guide, or not the money making guide, the video where I tried to make the most money possible. So check out those 3 videos that I mentioned so far. They're going to be in the description with a link. So that's cool. Feel free to check this out. As I mentioned quickly there, you should give the video a like if you found any of these tips useful or just enjoyable. My throat is very sore, so I'm going to end this off here. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully some of you found this very useful. I mean, I literally went over everything in terms of money making. The only thing I didn't cover was discounts, so I guess quickly, you know what? Nah, last minute, quickly gonna cover discount. Super Monkey. He has them, where is it? Level 3, Heroic Aura. Bloons in range, or not Bloons, towers and allies in range upgrades are 10% cheaper. It's a big discount, he's not that expensive, he's good damage. Then Tuxedo Jake, simply placing him. After that, we quickly want to go over the trinkets. Oh, I decided I wasn't going to do this, and I quickly changed my mind. Okay, let's see. Off the top of my head, do I remember all of these? First things first, we have Monkey King's Robe. Upgrades are 1% cheaper. If it's not obvious, you basically just want to use the best one of these you possibly can. I'm talking very quickly, so I'm just going to continue. So, yes, we have Monkey King's Robes. That is the first option. Then after that, I believe in the first uncommon section, I'm probably going to miss some of these. I will warn you about that. These I do not have nearly as good of a memory for. Is it you? Nope, red bow tie is not the correct one. Man, this is bad. You don't do it. No, you're... Oh, yeah, equipped characters' allies are 5% cheaper. Davy Stash, that's something. That matters a little bit for discounts. Okay, memory, try my best. Which one of these do it next? I don't think any other... Oh, no, Spoon, Broken Spoon. Spoon of Prosperity, upgrades are 3% cheaper. Man, I'm honestly surprised I'm remembering these half as well as I am. In terms of rares, the first one is... Where is it? Mind Games. Characters, upgrades, and allies are 5% cheaper when in range of a female character, excluding allies. Flame Princess, Sam, Sai, Captain Cassie, Commander Cassie. There might be 1 or 2 others that I'm not remembering. Those are the... Basically, that's the idea. I think there's one more here. Yes, there is. There is the Brain Food. Upgrades are 5% cheaper. Yes, it does the exact same thing as Mind Games. Don't ask me why Mind Games exist. We also have... Oh, no, this one's straight up a buff. Never mind. Black Bow Tie, you actually give actual stats. I forgot about that. Do you make Brofist cheaper? I forget. No, you do not. It's the mini fin hat. I always forget if it actually helps with that. We do also have, quickly, the Magic Spanner placement and upgrade costs are 5% less. You just put all of these on anything you want to save extra money. It's not that important since this will basically give you infinite money anyways, but if you want to have extra infinite money, like I probably will whenever I have to redo that video, this is how. So there's those discounts. In terms of super rares, let me see. I don't actually think there are any in here. Nope. None of these give anything. None of these, none of these, none of these. No, there's no super rare discount. I'm saying that. I know I'm wrong. That seems wrong, but I'm taking one last look. I don't think there's a super rare discount. In terms of epics, there is one. Soul Stone upgrades are 10% cheaper, and you start with the cheapest upgrade already purchased. It's not as helpful as it sounds, but it's nice. I'm taking one last look super rares. I know for a fact there has to be one of you. Except I'm almost positive there's not. No super rare unless you do it. No super rare, so there we go. That's every single discount, every single form of money making. My tips to what order to get it. My throat is very sore. Thank you all for watching. Again, like, subscribe, comment, check out the other videos. Have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye!